Okay, now wave.
Alright.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're on.
Thank you. Alright. Everyone in this room has someone that they love who is either in college or working towards a college education. I'm sure that you are able to see the amount of dedication that it takes in order to get into the school that a young adult desires to attend. How would you feel if you knew that your loved one who had worked so hard to get into the school of their choice was denied acceptance due to the color of their skin? You might be thinking right now that that type of situation doesn't happen. You might even say this is America, where people are treated equally. However, according to a book written by Thomas J. Evanshade and Alexandria Walton Radford, titled No Longer Separate, Not Yet Equal, an African-American student with a similar college application to a Caucasian student will receive the equivalent of a 310-point bump in their SAT scores. This is largely due to a practice known as affirmative action. I myself am a college student. I work hard for my grades. I strive for success. I am also a part of the female minority group, which has largely benefited through affirmative action as a whole. However, there are many issues with affirmative action that lead me to believe that it is really no longer valid in today's society. In fact, I believe that affirmative action actually hinders us more than it helps us. I find it to be condescending, unfair, and irrelevant. President Kennedy first introduced the term affirmative action in 1961. He saw it as a way to redress the continuing discrimination that had persisted despite the civil rights laws and the constitutional guarantees. However, it was President Lyndon B. Johnson who was attributed to being the first president to develop and enforce the program. According to an article on infoplease.com on the history of affirmative action by Borgner Brunner and Beth Rowan, LBJ was quoted saying, "This is the next and more profound stage of the battle for civil rights. We seek not just equality as a right and a theory, but equality as a fact and as a result." However, I know from my government book, Governing the People, that affirmative action is much more about equity than it is equality. For anyone who isn't familiar with these two terms, you should know that they are often misinterpreted to mean the same thing. However, they have great differences. You see, equality suggests that we are all given equal opportunities to succeed. Equity, on the other hand, is where we are individually given what we need to succeed. What President Johnson actually meant with affirmative action was that he wanted to give minorities more opportunity in order to make up for their previous grievances throughout history. But you see, affirmative action wasn't meant to be something that would be permanent. It was only an effort to level the playing field for those who had been wronged by the government thus far. Eventually, affirmative action should no longer be needed, and today's society is a prime example. In America today, our president is African American. We have more political representation for minority groups than we ever had before. With political activists such as Cesar Chavez, more Americans are in tune with making sure that all people have equal rights. We are now at a point where the color of skin of a person shouldn't matter due to the many opportunities that we all have under the category of American people. With that being said, I find affirmative action to be very condescending to young adults of today. There are successful people of all races amongst us right now, and we should be teaching our children that they are able to do anything that they set their minds to. Instead, through affirmative action, we teach them that their minds are not good enough on their own. We, as a nation, continue to teach our next generation that the color of our skin should be more important than our merit. This was the very idea that led to the well-known case of Alan Bakke, which exemplifies my last fact that affirmative action is unfair. Alan Bakke was a Caucasian male who sued the University of California at Davis Medical School because he believed they had discriminated against him due to his race. That year, the university had allotted 16 out of 100 available slots to minority applicants. However, Bakke's test scores and grades were ranked well above many applicants who had been accepted to the school because he wasn't a part of the minority. Had Bakke been any other ethnicity other than white, he would have been accepted. Alan Bakke actually won his court case. He was admitted into the University of California, but affirmative action still continues today. In conclusion, Martin Luther King Jr. said in his book, Stride Towards Freedom from 1964, that the best way to solve any problem is to remove its cause. Today I've talked about just a few reasons why affirmative action should no longer be practiced in higher education. It is my hope that one day we will see affirmative action laid to rest so that all can enjoy the benefits of being an American in an equal opportunity environment. Thank you.